Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, do me a huge favor, click that subscribe button down below for content like this and many more. For all your current subscribers, thank you very much for watching, for liking and sharing my videos. You guys are awesome and I really appreciate it. Now, in today's video, I am gonna do something a little different than you guys are accustomed to seeing me do, which is talk about my own car. Specifically the technology. I have a 2008 Lexus GS350. It is my personal vehicle, which is what I'm sitting and talking to you guys on, but I wanted to modernize the technology without changing the radio. So I bought a device called the Grom Vline2, which is this box here. This is where it came with. This video is not going to be an installation video. It's more showing you guys how the system works, what it can do, its capabilities. I will do a separate installation video later on after this video, and I'll of course come back and show you guys what that looks like. This device does wireless and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can also do wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto. You could download apps locally, things like Waze, Google Maps natively, offline navigation, Netflix, I mean, YouTube, you name it. You could download a lot of applications directly to this device. It's an excellent piece of technology, and I am going to talk about it now. Go over what it can do, the features. Stay tuned. That is coming up next. And before I go, I will leave the link of the website, which is on this box here, which is a little hard to read, but it's gromaudio.com. The website is gromaudio.com, but I will leave the link to the website in the description below in this video. Stay tuned. That's coming up next. Okay, let's talk Grom Vline2. As you guys can see, this is the factory screen. In every single third generation Lexus GS350 will have the screen, whether you have navigation or not. Lexus gave this screen standard to all of them. The beauty of the Grom is that in my particular situation, I wanted to retain the factory look and setup without changing anything. Yes, there are a lot of aftermarket radios that you can buy, which will replace this entire thing. There's one that's like Tesla style, which go from here all the way down there, which to me, I don't like the way that looks. I wanted to retain the factory look. Now, as you guys can see, right now it is 100% the factory screen. So you got the climate control, you got information, you know, all the factory functions, everything works as intended. You have destination, which, you know, this is because my car has a factory navigation. You got menu, and then the factory navigation. So here's where the magic begins. And in this video, I'm going to be showing both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which most of the videos that I found when I was doing research for this device only showed one or the other, but not both of them at the same time. So I'll start with Android Auto first, and then I'll switch over to Apple CarPlay. Now, so you're probably wondering, how do you access the Grom device? Well, the way it works is you press the CD and aux button right here. So you press that once, and then voila, there it is. This is the device. This is a home screen, so you could download shortcuts, its own applications. As you guys can see, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto already there. It also comes with like internet radio, so AM and FM. This allows you to return back to the factory screen, which looks like this, and then of course you can go back to, you can click AM, FM, the factory navigation, and so on and so on. And then to go back in it, just press the same disc aux button. Also, this will work. Keep in mind, this will also work if you don't have the aux and it just says disc. It will also work. My car has an aux jack in the center console, which now I no longer need it. That's how I was using to play Bluetooth music, because this device has Bluetooth, has everything. So I press it again, and then it goes into this display. This does Bluetooth music. So if you press this, it will play whatever last media you were playing, it will play through the screen. This is the home button. So you press this. This goes back to the home button. You can, of course, scroll, and you can add more applications. This nice little shortcut here is in case you need to close applications. If it's running buggy or anything, you can just press this and it'll close everything. And as you can see, there's Waze and there's Google Maps, which they do work, but you need to hotspot your phone or a personal hotspot to the device, which I have it in my situation right now. I have it right here. This is where that's what the device looks like. It is a tiny little box, which I will leave it alone for now. And I am going to reroute the cables. Right now I have them coming out to the front, which is these two cables right here. GPS antennas in there. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a cleanup job. And I'm also using an external microphone which lives right here, and I just ran it quickly down and then brought it in here to the front, which I don't like how that looks. I am gonna, in my particular situation, I bought a kit that retains the factory microphone, which is this guy right here, which I will be using instead of the external microphone. But anyway, you guys are welcome to use and keep whichever way you want. Now, back to the unit. So let's get into Android Auto. So my phone is already connected, and it will automatically, you could set it to automatically connect, or you could just connect it manually. But as you guys can see, you see that connect button right there. You press it and automatically starts connecting to my phone, which is my personal phone right here, and there it is. And there is Android Auto, which, again, this is awesome. Absolutely awesome to have this kind of technology in an almost 20-year-old car with its original screen. I mean, I can't say how cool this is enough. And as you can see, everything works. You have Google Maps. You can use the Google wake word, and it will work. You can use things, for example, you could say, "Hey Google," and now it's making me look bad. "Hey Google, how tall is the Empire State Building?"
The Empire State Building is 1,250 feet tall.
And it will do things like that. You could, of course, say, "Hey Google, navigate to the nearest Starbucks."
Starbucks, all right. Head northeast toward Albany Post Road.
And it works exactly as if it would in Waze. Of course, will also work exactly as it does in your phone, but of course projected on the screen. I can't tell you guys how cool this is. It literally is. This is gonna sound corny, but it is almost transformative. Like, this car feels like a different car. And if you have one of these vehicles, whether it's a Lexus, a 3rd Gen GS, they support a lot of cars. On the website, you'll see how many cars they support. A lot of old Toyotas, a lot of Lexuses, a lot of Acuras, Infinitis. I mean, it's awesome to have this technology in this old, in this old vehicle. It really is truly amazing. It really is cool. Of course, you could download, apps, like, for example, and let me go back to the screen here. So I have iHeartRadio, so I can listen to, let me just make sure the volume is low, because I don't want to get copyrighted. And please just bear with me because I'm using one hand, but this is iHeartRadio right here. Of course, you can listen to podcasts, all the radio stations. Very, very, very cool, very quick. It works perfectly fine. You could download, of course, you could download Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, whichever application you like. There's Spotify. Oh, let me go back. There is Spotify. I have Spotify, WhatsApp Messenger. It will read YouTube Music, you name it. It works on this device. And if I put the car in reverse, backup camera comes right on. No issues, no fuss. Everything works as if Lexus did this back in 2008, which is awesome. And if you press audio, it goes back to the native screen, information. Nothing is absolutely interrupted. The climate screen is 100% cool, and the integration is excellent. I mean, I can't speak, and as you guys can see, it goes back into it. Right now, I'm using my personal phone connected wirelessly, because as you guys can see, the device is in there. There is no cables, as you guys can see. It's 100% wireless, which is awesome. You can connect it wired if you want to. You can run a USB. It does come with USB cables. And it came with USB cables, so you can connect it wired to it. But why do wired when you connect it wirelessly? And over here it connects. It keeps. It does dual screen, so you see dual screen mode. I mean, but you can of course get rid of it and just do one or the other, just like that. I actually have, before I switch over to CarPlay. The CarPlay, because I am going to show you guys in both screens. Let me go back. Oh, pressed the wrong button. All right. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. Go back to the home screen. All right. So one thing I have is I'm jumping all over the place here. So the native navigation, you could download offline navigation like this, and it works just as if it has a factory navigation, because it doesn't need data. It doesn't need data because it is local. And the cool thing about this navigation software, it's called Sigic. Not sponsored by them or anything, but you could download offline maps. So you could download local maps if you live in whatever state you live in. Download it locally to the device, and then it works perfectly fine as a native factory navigation. So in my particular instance, I can use this and the factory Lexus navigation and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is awesome. So you have multiple different versions, different applications. And these little 3 lines right here, you can always, of course, press this, and it basically activates this little side panel, and it goes back to the home screen. To download applications, you can just place the Play Store, and it goes into the Play Store, and you could download whatever you want. Pretty much, you could just go here at apps, and then type in, do a search bar here, and then type in whatever you want, which is pretty cool. Right now, it's not going to do anything because it's not connected to the internet. You need Wi-Fi in order for it to work. But overall, I just got this system. I always wanted it. Even before I bought the car, I thought it was a cool, super cool technology. And I can't say nothing but great things about it so far. The only thing I have to do is rerun the cables in a better, neater way. But I can't say anything. I can't say bad enough things about this thing. Good enough things about it. So let's go to settings. And if you go into settings, this is where you see that this is 100% an Android device. If you have an Android phone, this will be all familiar. If you go to system, let me go back here. If you go to system, there is Vline updates, excuse me. So you could do updates and check for updates. If you want to reboot the device. Oh. Sorry about that. I just getting a phone call because my phone is connected to the car. So let me just let this person know that I'll call them back because I am filming. Filming this video and I don't want to be interrupted. But as you saw, the phone call came in, no problem, no fuss, which is awesome. So now I am going to pause for a little bit and show you guys what Apple CarPlay looks like. And to do that, I'm going to disconnect my phone and then connect the iPhone so you guys can see Apple CarPlay running and working on this 2008 Lexus GS350 screen, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned for that. All right, in this portion of the video, I am going to be demonstrating, now that I showed Android Auto working, I am going to demonstrate Apple CarPlay now, because when I was researching this device for my car, the person who I saw only had an iOS device, so I did not see it working with Android, which is, I gotta say, it's a bit frustrating, but it's all right because that's what the person has. In my particular situation, I have a work phone that's iOS and, of course, my Android phone, which is personal. My personal Android phone. Okay, now, so to connect to Apple CarPlay, just hit the Apple CarPlay icon. And for the purpose of this video, I disconnected it, and now I'm gonna hit connect. Which once you do it once you connect once, it will automatically connect, and you can tell it. You can do that in the settings to connect or not connect automatically, manually. But anyway, it's good that it does it by itself. And there it is. There is the Apple CarPlay screen. If you are familiar with Apple CarPlay, this works exactly like any other modern vehicle that has Apple CarPlay. So you have the Apple CarPlay screen. This is the quadrant of the Apple CarPlay screen. So you have, this is of course Google Maps, and it runs exactly like Google Maps does. This is Apple Maps right here, and it works as intended. You could, of course, right now it's in 2D mode. You can do, 3D mode. You could do 2D, and of course press it. Bear with me because I'm using one hand and I have to switch over between hand to hand. And just like Android Auto, you could download whatever application to your iOS and it will show up here. So there is Google Maps again, which I downloaded for the purpose of this video. And most importantly, you can use the wake word on your iOS device and say, "Hey Siri, hey Siri, how tall is the Empire State Building?"
The Empire State Building is 1,250 feet tall.
And of course, you can tell her to navigation, text so-and-so, call so-and-so, just like it does in your phone, which is awesome. And this is why you get a device like this in a 17-year-old, in my case, in my 17-year-old Lexus, which is absolutely awesome and is transformative, meaning it makes this car feel modern and it doesn't feel like an old car. And just like with the Android phone, you put it in reverse screen works, navigation, the backup camera works. You want to go to the climate screen, you can hit the climate screen. You want to go to information, it shows information. You want to go to the native map, it goes, it switches back automatically, but you get the point. It works. Nothing gets interrupted. This is the factory screen as it should. Menu. It is awesome. It is awesome. If you want to exit the CarPlay screen, all you have to do, of course, is hit the Grom button here, and it goes back to the Grom setup. And then, like I was mentioning earlier, if you hit this little gear, here you can see it says activate activate CarPlay automatically, or you could click it and it does it to manual. But why would you set it to manual when you could just set it to automatic? Here you could do the volumes, the notifications, the navigation system, the navigation volumes, the calls. You press back once. Here's the Bluetooth tethering. Oh, press the wrong button. Yes, the Bluetooth tethering for data and things of that nature. And it went back into it because I pressed that button. But anyway, it is such a cool device. I think it's worth every penny. It's not cheap. It's about $627, give or take, if you find some coupons. But I personally think if you're going to keep this car, if you're going to keep your current vehicle and you don't have this technology, it's definitely worth the investment. Especially as new car prices are getting out of hand and ultra mega expensive. But something like this is a small investment to keep your ride and make your ride current. All right, this has been my first look and comprehensive review of the Grom Vline2, running both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, if you have concerns, just leave them in the comment section. And I will try to respond if you have questions about the device, how it works, and things of that nature. And I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and stay safe.